not quite settled in, but in Indianapolis. I'm here for a second opinion. What I have not shared with you guys is that, you know, I've been rehabbing my knee. I shared that I have a torn meniscus, a bone bruise. My cartilage is kind of torn down. It's thinned out, which resulted in the bone bruise. The MRI basically just showed that, like, it was chronic. It's from years and years of pounding. There wasn't per se an incident where, like, I remember like, oh, this is what hurt my knee. Like, it's just wear and tear over the years basically. But anyway, what I have not shared with you guys is that the doctor that I saw in Austin, you know, the PRP shot was an option, you know, trying to train. I've said over and over again, I don't know if I've said it here on YouTube, but I've said it for sure on Instagram and Twitter. My training has been pretty abbreviated to kind of make up for sort of the pain that I'm feeling. Some days I can go, other days not. I really have to listen to my body. I was only on the track up until a couple weeks ago. Before that, I was pretty much on the turf or the grass. Basically, when I get on the track to compete, I want to be ready to go. So my agent and I had a conversation and he was like, listen, you need to go have a second opinion. I followed the doctor's orders. My options were to do the PRP shot, try to train through, go through rehab, see if correcting my hips and, you know, whatever movement was out of whack, see if that helped. Well, I'm still in pain. I am better than I was in May when I had this shot. I still have pain days. I can't train the way that I'm used to training or the way that I would like to train. His other option besides PRP and training through is a microfracture. The chances of me coming back from that surgery, it's a pretty big risk. I'm here for a second opinion, hoping that I get better news from this doctor, but desperately trying to avoid going the microfracture route. If I could just have a scope, something a little less invasive, a little less aggressive, I'm open to that. I'm trying to be open to the possibilities here, whatever it is that the doctors say I need to do, but you know, it's tough. I've never been in this situation in terms of sitting out this long. I thought I would be back on the track by now, competition wise, but obviously I'm not. Stressful and a place that I'm not used to being, especially not on my own terms, you know? Like, I've talked about it over and over. I'm definitely planning for retirement, but retirement in my mind is 2 years from now. So God is sitting me down now, kind of like, why? But, you know, trust the process. But I'm doing my best to, you know, stay positive. I've been immersing myself in my other projects, kind of take my mind away from the fact that I'm not on the track. So we'll see. I'm here in Indianapolis. If you don't know, Indianapolis is actually the headquarters for USA Track and Field. So I might actually get a chance to get over to the offices and check some folks out, but I'm here visiting St. Vincent. USA Track and Field in St. Vincent has a partnership. So pretty much my travel, my visit to the doctor, my treatment is pretty much covered between USA Track and Field and St. Vincent. Of course, I have to go through my insurance first, and then whatever isn't covered by my insurance, they pick up basically. But this is something that is available to us USA Track and Field athletes. Now, I will say that it is a benefit based on your tier. I don't believe that it's available to every USA Track and Field athlete, but based on your tier level, I'm taking advantage of being a tiered athlete and coming out here to get this treatment. So as usual, I'm going to take you along for the ride. I'll try to be as transparent as usual as possible through this experience. My room service is here. Dr. Carey just came and left. I've taken a week off, so it's interesting because you come in here and he's like, does this hurt? Does that hurt? And I'm like, no. Luckily, I had an MRI report, so he knows I'm not lying. We're at least gonna start with doing an x-ray because my MRI was done so long ago. He's gonna try to get me in to do another MRI this weekend. And then we will go from there. But he's on board with me. Microfracture. If we don't have to do it, we're not gonna do it. But my injury is significant. It's a 1.5 centimeter in my meniscus.
So these are your knees with you standing, putting weight on them. This is the right knee and this is your left knee. Right medial knee is part of the issue. And again, where that cartilage damage was seen was in this area, the the medial femoral condyle. On x-ray, looks pretty good. So that's reassuring. If you had a significant cartilage defect, you can often see it right here. This view just looks at your kneecap joints. And again, they're patellar.
Pretty normal looking.
Pretty normal. So.
Hi, Michelle. Who's this guy? Crazy. This looks like English.
You don't feel that in the knee, do you?
I don't feel it in the knee, but I do feel a little restriction.
Ankle itself or good calf stretch?
The
a little bit of ankle.
Ankle.
The front side. 17, 18. So, a little restriction in the, and you feel it. Ankle itself, right?
It
feel
did.
The ankle here, that just stretches the calf.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as free as this one.
Bend your knee up here. Your motion okay?
I think so.
No restriction there.
No.
And then back down and let your legs go straight or low in there. Low back and hips. Okay.
Sometimes I do feel the right side of my lower back.
A little more tension there.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're off kilter. You're a little forward on the right. You've been kind of favoring this guy for a few months. Glide this way a little easier than you glide that way. Positive factor.
Okay.
It's probably a fact, but it's tough to know. Everything sort of feel the knee and calf there at all, or just hammy?
Just hammy.
Anything in the low back? Let your knee bend. Yeah, those are all good. Let your foot rest and come to the outside. Yeah. Good stretch inside or outside more?
Inside.
Cause and effect. Tough to really break down, but you got to be a symmetrical, well-firing machine on all sides. Whether that was there before or after, at this point, whatever, we got to clean it all up. Hamstring.
Hamstring.
Back of the kneecap.
No.
Low back.
No.
Just hammy. Same sort of inside stretch here or different?
Yeah, same.
So that's it. Nothing too major there.
All right, I'm back from my MRI. I didn't record. I don't have anyone here with me to do the recording, and while you're in the machine, you can't move. I lost feeling in my fingers, but I survived. I hate doing those things, but I've only done like 2 or 3 in my lifetime. So I'll get the results tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm back in my room, obviously trying to decide what I'm gonna do with the rest of my evening. It's about 5:30 Thursday night. Rehab treatment in the morning, and then we'll go over my MRI results, and then we will talk about what to do going forward. Before I go to bed, I do have some exercises to do. One of the PTs there gave me some exercises to do, so I'm gonna do that and then figure out what I'm doing for dinner, entertaining myself tonight. So it's not a very nice day. This is the view outside my hotel. It's kind of overcast. Oh, Circle Center Mall. I didn't realize that was a mall right there. Let's see what's in the mall. I don't need to go shopping, but you know, I don't have anything else to do. Maybe there's a movie theater. We'll see. I had to give in and call the Uber. I tried to walk here and I got lost. My GPS was acting up. So I'm like 2 minutes late, but we're gonna get this knee right. We're gonna find out what the MRI said. So I guess these high-tech doctors now have these tablets for check-in.
This first view, I don't expect to see much because we're kind of just doing cuts through the knee.
Okay.
Cross-sectional images through the knee. Now I can see there's a little bit of some, looks like there might be some bone bruising showing up a little bit there.
That dark spot? So would that be where most of my pain is coming from?
Well, that's part of it. That's why we do all these images, so that we can really try to get a good look at it from all different angles. So now when we look at it from the side, you've kind of got a little area there and an area here. There's a question on this, whether there's a little bit of a meniscus tear back here in the back of this meniscus, but we'll look on this other sequence to see that a little bit better. Yeah, it looks like there could potentially be a little meniscus tear. And then on this image, it'll show it a little bit better. You have bone bruising into that inside part of your medial femoral condyle on the inside part of your knee, as well as just a little thin meniscus tear. You know, subtle, thin, linear signal in the meniscus in the very back of it, which, you know, doesn't exactly meet the strict MRI criteria for a tear, but looks suspicious.
Okay.
For a little thin meniscus tear. There is some cartilage damage, just a little bit, small area of cartilage damage on that medial femoral condyle, which you could see, you know, on that view here. Just this This dark gray zone right here should be nice and thick, like it is all along here. As you come right around down in here,
it thins out.
There's a little bit of some damage to that cartilage.
Okay.
Which is where that other orthopedic surgeon was probably talking about doing the microfracture on that to try to get that to heal. When you have cartilage that isn't as thick as it should be and isn't absorbing force like it's supposed to be, then the force will go into the bone. And that's where you'll start to get this.
That's where that bruising is coming from.
Bone bruising into the. So there's no easy answer to
Oh, okay.
your knee pain. I wish I could press the easy button and tell you, here's what you do. But I think what we talked about yesterday is probably pretty accurate in terms of shutting it down for the season, or at least for the foreseeable future. Maybe it's the next month or two.
Okay.
Because you got bone bruising, which is just going to continue to get worse if you try to continue to train on this. And that's where we talked about if you were to do something like either PRP, more PRP injections into the knee, or even thinking about considering something like stem cell injections or something like that to the knee to kind of try to help that cartilage and that meniscus heal.
Okay.
You take away the forces that are aggravating it.
So they are healable.
To an extent. We don't always know who's going to be able to heal up something like that well and who's not.
Okay.
Again, like I said, somebody like you who's otherwise healthy, and if you give it the right environment for healing, then there's a chance that it would heal. Would it heal perfectly to be totally normal again? Maybe not.
Okay.
But could it heal enough to where you don't have pain anymore? Yes, that's possible.
So no pain and perform at the level that I'm used to performing at?
I mean, really what restricts you from training to be able to...
Is the pain.
Is the pain, right?
Okay.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing really structural other than that little bit of cartilage. I mean, there are a lot of athletes out there who have a little bit of cartilage wear and tear in their joints.
I mean, I've been running for over 20 years, so...
The challenge is that as we age, we don't heal cartilage as well as we used to. Cartilage, no matter how old you are, doesn't heal as well as muscle or bone or things like that. And so I think a lot of it is if you can get that bone bruising to calm down, give the cartilage time to heal, maybe do some kind of biologics, like I said, stem cells or PRP, and you give yourself a shot.
Okay. The diagnosis today is no more training. And what do you think? What do you say? Maybe 2 more PRP treatments, or?
I would consider that, yes, in your case. And then a question of whether you do stem cells.
Oh, so you would do that in conjunction?
Mm-hmm. I would consider that in conjunction if it were me.
Because of the cartilage situation, we're basically trying to regenerate my cartilage. He understands why Dr. Rodriguez in Austin suggested the microfracture, but I'm desperately trying to avoid that. If I can, I would like to do that after I retire, not while I'm still trying to compete, because that would be a considerable amount of downtime. And then there's no guarantee that I would bounce back 100% from that. So he's confident that this route would be a little bit less aggressive, more promising, that I would be able to compete for 19 and 20. That's the route we're gonna go.